coming over here, and this is what I want to get into. Like, this is like the meat and potatoes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So bridging the gap, there's not too many, in my opinion, sales engines, right? You can call us a sales engine if you want, because we're not doing the installation itself.
Right.
Right. So there's not too many sales engines that have like a really deep and talented and skilled operations team. Right? Which I think is a huge advantage to us and to the partners we work with.
Yeah.
But coming over here, what were some of the things that you saw in the industry that was happening, right? And there's that gap there between the sales and the install that you wanted to, like, if I could just make this, because again, going back to what I said originally, there's things that you'd imagine if you're creating your own company exactly the way you'd want to do it.
Yeah.
So what were some of those things that you saw that were going wrong in the industry that no one really was tackling or seemed to be focusing on that you wanted to solve?
Quality of the sale. Quality, right? Like, you can go up there and you can sell a bunch of jobs, but and it's great for morale, and it's great for the group chat, and it's great for Instagram, and it's great, for Snapchat, whatever it is that everybody does.
I hope it's not Snapchat
Nobody
anymore.
does Snapchat? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are on Snapchat, but anyways, that's a different podcast.
Beige flag, they call it that.
Beige flag. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like that would be a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, it could be.
We can go past that. So I think that there is that temporary high that getting that sale gives the industry and sales, which is amazing. Like, we love that.
Yeah.
But then what? Then what happens, right? Then it goes to the installer. Then what happens next? They have a contract review team usually that looks over all of the necessary documents that are needed. And that operations team for that installer has had a previous conversation with the sales company telling them, you have to have this, and you have to have that, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, and this is the perfect packet, and da-da-da-da-da, perfect. Happy path, right? It's tough. It's really tough to manage that at a high level with the amount of volume that, like, a company like Spartan is doing. So, I think that is, and then what happens? Go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick, what? Because that's like the important thing is like, okay, so you're selling a bunch of jobs, you're going to install it, they have the deal review process, and this is what you really brought to light for me. What is, because you've experienced high volume coming in before,
totally,
with a very low install rate, right?
Yeah.
What you would expect versus what you get.
Yeah.
What happens in an installer's world when someone's delivering them? Because in the beginning they're like, this is great. We're going to be rich. We're going to kill it. They're giving us so much business. This is going to be amazing.
$100,000, big check. Yes, we're going to get the $100,000 this next week. Yeah. What happens with that is if there is stuff missing and that quality check on the sales side isn't there, and it's just going to the installer and the installer is doing the quality check, it gets lost in the big, scheme of things, of how much time it actually does take operations to review every single deal and review the job coming in to make sure everything is there. So when operations is looking at each deal and they say, oh, this isn't there. Okay, tag this person. Hey, this is missing this. And then, they might put it on hold, or it sits in a certain stage. Then what? Then they go to the next deal and then it's like, oh, this is missing this. What does that then, what happens then? They either A, wait for a response from sales when that thing is finally given to them.
Which would imply that someone then probably is a bridge that's then hearing from the installer, okay, I'm going to reach out to the salesperson.
Yep.
And then they hope they reach out to that person, which is going to reach back out to the installer,
Yeah.
which is a lot of, wishful thinking.
Hopefully this person does the job. Hopefully this person sees that. Hopefully this person isn't on vacation. Hopefully they don't have 1 million emails. Hopefully they don't have 1,000 unread text messages. Hopefully that's the next thing we got to fix. But it's like, hopefully you're depending on somebody else. And as sales, as a sales leader and as, working with a sales company, the standard for the quality of that sale, I think, just needs to be raised up a little bit. And Spartan has been so receptive and willing to go that extra mile to do that. And the payoff that the operations people, when they are reviewing contracts and they are, trying to move the deals through their system, they're going to want to look at Spartan jobs. That's going to be the first, because that's going to be the quickest, easiest review for them. So they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to filter by Spartan because I know this is going to take me 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're almost basically just sending it because of the systems we built out straight to design and engineering.
Yeah.
Because it's already like, they already know it's good.
Yes, 100%. And like even just that care for the installer, like it shows that you care about their time, their resources, like all just even their operational cost, right? Like you really are thinking of that company and the well-being of the operations people every day, because the stigma in the industry is sales, they never listen, or they don't do that, they don't but it's really like how big is your desire to actually change that? Right. And so deciding and taking the opportunity to work with you was really like, I thought I was going to be when I made the decision to do consulting, it was like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to help installers and I'm going to fix their processes and it's going to be great and everything's going to be amazing. But it starts with the sale.
Yeah.
It literally, everything starts with the sale. And if the sale isn't quality, then no amount of fixes of processes and CRM changes and all of this that I can do for an installer will mean anything if sales doesn't hold up their end of the bargain. And that is what is setting Spartan apart.
Because it takes a while, I would imagine, and this is a couple-part question, but I imagine it takes a while for, an installer is hungry for business, right? Especially if they're not getting as much volume as they can carry and can handle.
Yeah.
So they'll take on just about anybody, right? Like, there's not too many filters. Like, oh, we can do 50 a month, we can do 100 a month. Okay, we'll bring you on because we could use that volume.
Totally.
But I imagine there's a big lag between, okay, these guys are crushing it, to finding out what's really happening, right? So say they have a 50% and by the way, a 60%, 50% cancel rate in the industry is becoming extremely common.
It is, unfortunately.
It's becoming extremely common. There's a lot of reasons for it, but it's becoming extremely common because, again, volume is toted at the highest level of respect. So everyone just wants to have the biggest numbers to post on everything, which, again, there's value there, right? But we had to make some changes to make sure it's the most legitimate volume that installers can be happy with. So 2 things. One, how long does it take an installer to really realize what's happening?
Totally.
And then 2, how much does that actually, so say they are sitting at a 50 or 60% cancel rate, how much is that really, are the installers still making money? Is it costing them? What happens?
What's crazy is that installers that are smaller, that take on that amount of volume because they do want to grow, they hire people because they think that it takes 10, 15 minutes to review a job, or it takes all day to review 50 jobs because of all of the follow-up that they have to do of the 50 last week that came in that 75% of them were missing something.
Yeah.
And it's like, so then they overhire, so then their operational costs go up for jobs that are 60% of those 100 jobs are canceling. Like, there is no payoff there, and there is that it's just terrible for the installer health. And so people just don't think of it that way. And so they're, oh yeah, we're going to help you grow. You can hire. But it's like, if 60% of it is fake, 50% of it is fake, 40% of it is fake, like, then you're hiring people to really just look at stuff that's missing and then just follow up with that. Like, we should hold our people to a higher standard than that. And it's crazy. So, the changes that Spartan had, that we've worked on together, and the buy-in really from the leaders at Spartan has been so refreshing, because it's like, it just breaks the stigma of sales doesn't listen, sales are dumb, sales don't get it, sales don't care, they just want to get their sale, post on Instagram, Snapchat, and be happy with that. And it's like, no, like, sales can be different if you talk to them about the benefit of this in a different way.